Hello. It me. I'm a cup.
Why are you a cup?
I'm a cup. Don't worry about it. I'm just a little cup. I'm just a little guy.
That's not a cup, that's a chalice.
I'm a cup. I'm a little cup.
In that case, you're a
The
goblin.
pioneers did with those babies.
I used to ride these babies for miles.
I wish for infinite pineapple
We
juice.
talking D, double D, triple A.
Honestly, probably like looking how the vessel usually looks, it varies.
Okay, so just
Sometimes it grows.
Whichever fan artist is drawing at the time.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fate Days Lost, our Fate Stay Night / Fate Universe, Fate / Universe game that we're doing. Primarily focusing on Fate and all of the Fate things, though there is a little twinkle of other Type Moon properties involved. We are playing in an alternate universe, alternate world from the actual canon of the Stay Night franchise. But in a similar-esque city, similar-esque things going down. Currently, we will explain more of that whenever we get further into the campaign. But today, we're doing the first backstory campaign for one of our characters, for our boy Eric.
Hi.
There they are. And we will be explaining the system, how things go, because most of these guys have not seen the new system that I do in my games. We'll be explaining that a little bit today, not going into humongous detail because it's not needed, but I'll probably be letting them know at least the things that they need to know, and we'll set up like the little square thing. I think those are fun, so that'll be fun to see. It'll also let people who are around do something if they want to. That being said, we'll reveal any sort of reactives or anything as the characters are revealed, as things are started. And let's go ahead and show off the room. Jumping in.
D.
Welcome to our room. It's a very nice room. I'm blocking the chat off in the bottom left if you're wondering why that has a weird square thing there. But if you want to see the chat, it's in the top right. It's very nice. Look at it over there.
Yeah.
Look at the little emoticon. It's great. We love it. This room is a big flat table. It do big flat table things. We have many other small things involved in things, but we're not going to be using most of it today. For the first thing, let's go ahead and speak at our player for today. Our player is our boy Eric. Eric, you are situated in the very center of this area, the very center spot here. You may notice that you have a different health bar than the others. I wouldn't worry too much on that. We understand. It'll happen. You also have slightly different dice, but everybody's going to get these dice, so don't worry about it. But they're nice little dice. We love them. Eric is going to have the blue color for this thing. We're going to set things up relatively nicely. Eric, have you seen our little area here, our little squares? Have you seen our squares?
Yeah, I see your little chessboard. What's going on with that?
You like our little squares? Do you like them?
Sure. They're fine.
You see the bag beside of that? And again, anybody in the room can do this if they wish as well, as I'm explaining this. But why don't you right click your bag and give me a little shuffle?
Bleh.
Shuffle it as much as you want to do. And then why don't you draw one of the, why don't you just take one of those out of the bag?
Bleh.
You can place that anywhere you want, and look, it just goes straight in. Oh, that's crazy. Do that 50 more times.
Oh, cool. I'll be here for a bit.
If you guys would like to either aid Eric or do this yourself on your side, you can. But these are this is your inventory. This is the thing that is going to show your inventory. Just like we had started in NetNavi, our inventory are a bunch of little squares that show off different items and things of that nature. However, these are different. These are these little squares that have something on the back of them. As we go through the game, there will be times whenever you need to move these squares off or move them off and around. Yeah, you may notice that now that you're at the end, there are more left in there. There are exactly 5 more left in here. And that's because these 5 are now yours to keep.
Oh, neat.
These
What
are the
use
ones
they
you
to
get
me?
for free. If you look at these, I'm going to hover over them and I'm going to change their color from black to nothing. However, if you flip them over, you see each of them has a different design on them.
Oh.
In this case, you have 2 of these squares, which will give you extra squares to release on your board. You have a plus minus, which will give you 2 plus minus dice. You have a little purple circle, which will give you more stat points. Very nice, very good. And you have little square, which will give you some inspiration dice. Very nice, very wonderful.
Okay.
Eric, on your board,
Huh.
there are a bunch of little lines. There are 7 little lines all over in diagonals, in straight up, straight downs. Would you like to get rid of a line for me?
Just like
Dante's very excited for you to get rid of a line.
take them off the board.
Just go ahead
or flip
and
'em.
tell me which line you want.
The one farthest to the left.
You want
Adventure
this
to the left.
line here.
Yeah.
Okay. Here I go. Dante, calm down, please. As we have done that, let's go ahead and flip over this entire line. Bloop. Ooh, you got a good one. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Bloop. So we have more squares. You have now a total of 4 extra squares you can get rid of. Also the plus minus dice, very nice. You also got a bit of mana, which is very useful to you in particular, but we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Another stat thing, and this thingy, which is going to be like talked about in a second. Because you have 4 other squares, why don't you reveal 4 other squares? I will have you have note just before you do choose any more at this point.
Yeah.
You will need to be putting your things on these squares. So making large open areas is good, but also once you know what your items look like, you'll be able to open up those little areas as well. So
This is our inventory screen.
this is your inventory screen. Why don't you tell me 4 more squares to get rid of? My suggestion is probably 4 at the same time. Yeah, exactly. You're doing it. You're doing it. And if there's any squares here, then we got it. Very nice. Very cool. We're getting very heavy music into this, so we're gonna actually just go into our roleplay things and go to normal tunes. But boop, boop, boop. There they are. You didn't get any more squares, luckily. I don't have to worry about doing this anymore. But you did get more mana, which again, for you in particular, is very neat. More of the inspiration dice, and you notice this one has a little bar that's similar to the health bar that we have.
Uh-huh.
Up here in this, your ether. That is going to increase your maximum ether.
Okay, what is that? That's
That's
my
your health.
right?
Your health
50
on your
of
left is your actual physical health, your HP, and on your right is your shield. Your shield, as long as it is up, is going to give you bonuses to your resistances. So anytime I have you roll for a save, you're going to get a +2 as long as your shield is up. So
Okay.
your shield is very important. And also your shield stops you from taking injuries whenever you take damage, as well as, again, mostly just stops you from getting stabbed through. That being said, certain attacks can bypass shield. So if you want to have a big shield, that's cool. Health is also important, because if your health runs out, you're gone. If your shield runs out, you're fine. So there are gives and takes. The number beside of that, the little 10 right there, that's your AC.
10.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's your current AC currently.
Looking good so far.
Looking
AC
great,
is
looking
great.
wonderful. It's just almost anything can blow you over. It's fine. You don't have any armor on. Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the little green dots that I have here on your thing to get rid of snapping on your inventory. That way we don't have to worry about whenever you do put things down, doing things or any such stuff. You may or may not have other times I'm going to release your inventory for you, but at the moment, we're good there. Wonderful. You have your sheet here. It's a very nice sheet. We're not going to completely reveal it right now. That being said, we can show it if you want to show off your character now. Do you want people to see you?
When else?
All right. Eric.
Huh.
welcome the only servant in our campaign.
Hi. How's it going?
There he is. Look at him. Look how
Yeah.
cute he is.
It me.
Look how adorable. Such adorable. Many adorable.
I have achieved twink.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Never thought I'd see the day.
Because Eric is playing a servant this campaign, they have two actual sets of stats. One of them is their actual stats, which they will have less of than everybody else. They will have 7, whereas everybody else is having like 10. You have your strength, agility, your magic, your luck, your defense, and your charisma. Basically anything you do goes based off of those. However, if you are fighting other beings that have connection to the Grail or the war or anything else that's going on, we will be using your ranks, which are over here: your strength, agility, magic, luck, defense, charisma, phantasm. Now, when we go through these, for the time being, I'm just going to go ahead and give you your base levels for all of these, which are
Yeah.
E.
As Markiplier would say.
Throughout the backstory of not only you, but also your fellow characters, these base stats may go up for reasons. But at the moment, you are base level, tiny little guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because, well, you're technically not a servant yet. Let's go ahead and get your reactive up though, shall we?
Yeah.
Bloop. There you are.
Yeah.
Very nice, very cute. Eric,
Oh my god, he's adorable.
he's absolutely adorable. Eric,
Baby.
little tiny.
Tiny child.
Eric,
Yeah.
you have not been around for this this type of thing from my systems, but if we look over at the right here where we see commands, these are the things
Furry
we'll be
chart?
doing.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I thought you were talking about the furry chart.
Oh no, not the furry chart, not yet.
Okay.
Why'd you say yet?
These are
what do you?
these are things you can do during your turns. Whenever I give you turns, this either means you are doing a skill challenge or a combat. During your turn, you can either attack, use magic, move, defend, inflict, which is a certain type of thing that are on the magic cards that will allow you to do status effects, dodge, and all of these are color coded. You notice that attacking is red, usually, magic is blue, usually, movement is green all the time. But depending on the cards I give you and the abilities you have, you will need to use certain amounts of AP to do that. Currently, I will give you none of those. However, I will let you see them because, again, depending on how things go, you may have some different AP down the line. The different APs that we have over here are green, red, blue, and white. At any given turn, you can use up to 3 different actions, and different actions may cost more AP for you. Or you can decide that, oh, I have so many green or so many blues, so I'm going to do so many of those type of attacks. The white one is free. You can use that for literally anything you can do. However, the white ones also expire. So we'll talk more about that when we get into actual combat.
Okay.
But just note, 3 actions around, even though you have more AP than that. Some things cost more of these little tokens, some things don't. Yeah, we'll talk about that whenever we get into your stuff, which is in this box, locked away and no one can see it. All of your servant abilities are in this box.
Never see.
We will talk into things. I do have different names for all of these. Your green is your stamina AP, your red is your effort AP, your blue is your study AP. Don't worry about that. That's mostly for Quest of the Quiet Mart stuff. Or Curse of the Quiet Mart stuff. We go over to donation rewards. It is mostly the same thing as all the other games we do. You can get karma dice. You can get karma tokens. Karma dice are just the inspirations. Karma tokens are the fate cards that we did not do in Zelda for the most part, but are here and at a very, very much more tamed, but still very useful set of ways things go. They're also a lot more dangerous if you want to risk things for higher level things. If you want to just take the base, which is a neutral, regular just thing you can do, very nice. Sometimes they're like, here, have a stat point or something. Very cool. But if you want to risk it for the biscuit, you could get a much better effect or a much worse effect. We also have prestige in NPC. Obviously, people can prestige NPCs if they like them. Very nice. That gives them either certain extra things if they're important enough to have that, or that just, you know, make funny number go up. Very nice. When an NPC is prestige, I'll give you guys an amount of guidance tokens or shadow tokens depending on if they were a enemy or a ally. You get more guidance tokens than you do shadow tokens. Do not worry about that. Boasts. This is something you can do whenever you have a certain kind of token. These things will be like, hey, I want to go do a thing, but I also want to do it with style and flair. Can I roll to see if I do something cool when I do it? And usually if you use a boast to do something and then you follow it up with something very cool, I'll give you a reward of some kind. Those can go from any inspirations. Those can go for karma dice. I've actually given someone a karma token for that from before. You can get a bunch of different things from doing a boast and actually doing it correctly. If you do it wrong, then you waste your boast. There's no negative effect for using a boast.
So it's kind of like a goddess token from Zelda where you can interrupt stuff.
Kind of. It's you don't get any advantage or anything, but you can do it to be like, I want to do something cool in this moment, kind of thing.
Yeah.
There are auto successes. These are a very few and far between, but they will let you pass something from at the very basest of level. Usually that gives you a complication though if you use these, which means if it's like, oh man, I just rolled really bad on my strength roll to pick up this boulder, that sucks. I want to auto success that. It's like, okay, you pick up the boulder, you thought you're back.
Yeah,
that kind of thing. And finally, the unlimited fund works. Unlimited fund works. If I ever need to throw a fund down, sometimes people like just giving money for no reason. I will always add it to this fund, whatever I decide the fund is for. Maybe it's for more reactives. Maybe it's for a reactive for me instead of a cup. I don't know. Maybe it's for new art for an NPC. Maybe it's for something else, yada yada. These can be basically anything, but they're usually relatively expensive. I usually only bring these things out whenever we're having money troubles. But if you decide that you don't
go to that.
if you decide that you don't want to give anything into a certain thing, you can always give things there. The final thing that you can get, which people may take note of, in my other games, there is a currency. There's not really a currency here. There's kind of a currency, and it can be used as a currency in game if we decide certain people will take them. But you could also give the players Go coins. Otherwise known as Grand Order coins. Now, a Go coin looks like this. I'm gonna bring it over to you guys. I'm gonna bring it over to the thing here. This is a Go coin. It has the fake Grand Order logo on it.
Oh, it failed to load for me. It's just a little orb.
It's just a little orb.
Perfect.
Oh no. Well, we'll get that fixed later on.
It's fine.
But it is a little coin that people can use to get special dice from. For example, hero dice, or the plus minus dice. You guys can decide, hey, I have a Go coin, can I get a couple of those neat dice? I'm like, sure, go ahead. Or you can use those on gotcha rolls because it's Grand Order. I say gotcha, it's just our little treasure dice. Our little treasure dice we've had around for quite a while, that we've basically taken from the idea of the item tables that we had in Avatar. It's a very funny little thing. It's like, hey, I want to roll on one of the treasure dice that I'll have specifically for this game. Not this one in particular, but I do have other ones that I'm working on. You would roll it, and depending on the thing, this one has a currency. Guess what? There's no currency here. I'm probably just going to give you guys inspiration.
Sick.
That's basically what that means. I wanted to take a stab at Fate Go like I always do anytime I talk about Fate, so that's what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
Remember, it's ethically right to always jab at Fate Go.
It's ethically right to do anything you want with Fate Go except give them money.
Yeah.
I'm playing. If you like Fate Go, go play Fate Go. I don't give a fuck. And finally, I have mentioned this to you, but I do want to mention it to the others. There is a new mechanic in our games that are based on curses and injuries, status effects, if you will. Whenever you are getting hurt into your actual HP, depending on what kind of attack happened or anything else, I will have a bag that has these tokens in them. These very scary tokens appear. They have different effects. They are not made for this game quite yet. These are ones I stole from the Horror Resort game. So I don't have the exact effects on them for things, but they generally will do the same thing. When you get the bag, I'm going to have so many of each of these in here. The most of them are going to be this one, which is a little moon, little nice, little sleep. It does nothing. And in certain cases, it may heal you. So if you get lucky, you can just have nothing happen to you if you have an injury. That being said, mostly it's you take some damage or you lose a stat temporarily.
Is this a steak and crossbones?
That's a little guy. He's poisoned.
Oh, okay.
He's poisoned, so he's all wibbly wobbly. He's like,
Gotcha.
yeah. I think that's supposed to be like a vial, and this is gas.
Yeah, I was like, that looks. My
Yeah.
brain was like, that is a steak and crossbones with a little magician hat.
I mean, if we do it like this, yeah. I think that's just what it is now. Is what I think. But yes, that is more than you ever need to know about this current game. The current game does not need you to know any of these things, like at all. So lucky for you. At this point, because of everything that has gone on, the last thing I will say is none of the donation rewards or none of the things like that is going to help you out during the backstory game. You are going completely raw for the backstory game. No karma tokens, no karma dice, no inspirations, no anything of that nature. The only thing that will work is in the chat. If people would like to give you a fleeting inspiration, which I believe they can do once a game, will allow you to re-roll the next roll you make. Whether it's good or bad, you're re-rolling it. You're using it right then. You technically can do it as you're rolling, but probably best to do it to use it beforehand, because if I don't see it and the roll's already made, we're moving on to the next roll. That's basically everything that I want to go over with you at the moment. We will give you all of your stuff from your inventory stuff later. You're probably going to open up more of that today, so there's not really a need to worry about it right now. And today is mostly going to be sort of introductory other than this. Is there any questions you have currently based on everything that I've told you?
No, not really.
You don't even want to know about the furry chart. Okay, cool. That being said,
I mean, well, I know you're not going to tell me about the furry chart.
I have a
You
question.
sick fuck.
What's your question, Anthony?
Can you start all over? I wasn't listening.
Well, all right. So this is Eric. All right. Tell you about the furry chart. It's right here. If you guys want to know, it's right there. I screenshot it. I'm not gonna hover over it for a while. This is the true furry chart. It's the only one that matters. Anyway, also,
It's
Nasu
imperative.
doesn't care. That being said, I think it's time for us to jump in.
Oh boy.
Eric,
Yeah.
Eric, you are a hunter. You have recently, and by recent, it's more in the godly recent, as in last few years or so, joined a group of hunters making their way through these forests outside of, well, the mountain. Your job is to make sure that beasts, monsters, and the like are taken care of, not making too big of a fuss, not making too big of a mess. Mostly a whole bunch of control. Your also sort of job is to go around and make sure that no one is defiling any of the greater or lesser gods' monuments. Whether that be beast or man, you want to make sure that they are taken care of, that any place of worship for any of these can be unsullied. You are one of many. All of them have made vows to the one that has led them. You have yet to make your vows. You're basically an intern at the moment. A 4 or 5 year intern.
Training.
You are still treated as a newbie by most of them. But you have a rather good gift in things. You are rather gifted in training animals. A lot of the animals that accompany the hunters are ones that either have followed by example from your own animals, your 2 wolves that you have, or you have given aid in training since. You don't have any ambitious things of saying you're the only one that can train these. Obviously, if any of the ones that were higher up around you or the person that is in charge of you were to want to do things, they would probably listen to them a lot easier or a lot better than you, but you are relatively well at it. You're a natural, a duck to water. As we go into this, you are currently clearing out after a very large hunt. You have made sure to remove any of the beasts, any of the carcasses, any of the things that were around one of the gods of winds that are around you, one of their shrines, deep, far off into the forest, way away from home. I'd like to know, you don't have to tell me everything, obviously. More things can be revealed as we go along, but as we have been going about things have been relatively well for you. The people who are around you have been taking care of you relatively well. You haven't had to listen to too many stories of the things that have happened around you or the people that are off back at the cities. How are your current feelings about deities? And again, you don't have to tell me much. I know that we've talked about things, but after being out here for these several years, what are your current feelings about the deities of this place?
He thinks that while some of them are good most of the time, a lot of them get away with far too much. They use their power in ways that they shouldn't. And he has a great distaste for that.
A certain deity, you do have a personal, we won't say vendetta against. Obviously, you would never go as far as to actually publicly ridicule them or anything of that nature. Pissing off the gods is never a great idea. But you have a very much public disdain or an unliking for them. Has that at all ebbed in these years after the events has transpired?
No.
That one still is pretty fresh in mind.
Yeah.
Okay. You have not been able to keep in contact with much of your family since joining the hunt. Most of the people who stay around your current employer are, they have to take certain vows. Again, you're pretty sure it's close to your time to take those vows. But when it comes down to it, you are decently sure a lot of the people around you probably would not be in the good graces of the person that we're talking of. How do you feel about your current employer?
So far, she's treated him pretty well. There's been no complaints really about how she handles things. I think his biggest probably pseudo complaint, is that he hasn't gotten the chance to do more yet.
You are mostly on cleanup, as you have been able to train the dogs, and you do give some help in the hunts. You are mostly on cleanup duty. most of the other hunters and mostly the huntresses mostly, there are a few hunters around, but most of the other huntresses treat you basically as a, hey, we're done, pack them up.
Mm-hmm.
And you usually go right along with it. How would you feel your current drive to hunt is? You say that you wish you could do more. How would you feel your current effectiveness would be if you were to go off and hunt?
On his own?
On your own. Well, and your dogs.
Hmm. I mean, he knows how. Like when it comes to like your standard like deer hunting, bear hunting, he could handle that. He's pretty confident in his ability to do stuff like that. When it comes to like monsters and stuff, he is willing to tackle just about anything, but he's not really had the opportunity to do it. So he doesn't really know how it'll fare, but he
You have a
will
lot to
approach
prove.
it with confidence. Yeah.
Got it. And there's something I want to know, because I haven't been privy to this information yet. As you're sitting there thinking about things, you do find that there is a little casual walk up to you from behind as you feel the fuzziness of your two hounds.
Yeah. Hey guys.
May or may not, again, sourced directly from FateGo. But these are your two hounds. These are your two wolves, your two dogs. What are their names?
Their names that I definitely didn't come up with as you were leading into the intro.
You told me that you had a list, and then you found the ones that you liked.
I did, and that's how I found them so quickly. Their names are Agrius and Cyrus.
Agrius and Cyrus?
Yeah.
Nice. You will have to spell those. I'm not doing it.
I already did.
Hey, thank you. Agrius and Cyrus. Wonderful. Agrius and Cyrus are very diligently going over the entirety of the camp. You have been left here while the others have gone off to deal with the one that had asked you to clear out their shrine. As you were often waiting about, you do find that the two of them are looking about for the other wolves, looking about for the other hunters. Eventually, you do find a rustling in the trees just a little bit off from you. As stepping out from the area, you do find more wolves. You recognize them. As from the other huntresses that are off and about. We do not have very common huntress people, oddly enough, so I will be reusing a certain token. But
Cool. Works.
But you do recognize one of the three huntresses that have made their way back. You recognize all of them, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop. Making their way down from the high ridges. Don't you love them?
They're great.
Never seen them before.
Never.
You would find that there are a couple of the huntresses leading the wolves off around in the long way, not wanting to do what the other one is about to. As you see one of the huntresses, one of the women, jumping down and landing at the area about you. A rather tall woman who, as soon as they land, there is a growl from the closest of the dogs as they go and land. They don't make any moves of aggression because most of your dogs have learned by now that the huntresses that are around you are extremely strong.
Hey, calm down. It's all right.
As she looks over, oh, Cyrus, want another go? Cyrus just sort of lets off a bit of a growl and just like
Yeah, you probably shouldn't. Last time didn't go so great.
What's going on, newbie?
Just finished packing up some stuff and, cleaning up as usual.
We're mostly done on our side, though there is a bit of cleanup that needs to happen over there. Mind if you accompany me for it?
Sure, no problem. Yeah.
They sorta told me to do all of it. But at the same time, I felt like, more the merrier, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I get that.
And let's go on ahead.
All right.
Just so
lead
you
the way.
know, this god, a little bit pretentious, but they are mostly dealt with by now. Just one of them, just one of the many wins. Nothing we have to really worry too much on.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see what's up. Lead the way.
You make your way away with the other huntress that is with you. You do know that this one is also potentially a newbie. They were not someone that has been around far much longer than you, but because you came after them, you are the baby of the group. You are the main baby. From what you do know, this one was always very iffy about being the baby of the group, as they are one of the tallest motherfuckers in the entirety of the hunters. But they have been, because of that, very attached to you being here, as they're like, thank God, someone else that can be
not the baby.
I'm finally not the baby. Do you have any current thoughts on your friend here? They are one of the hunters that have the most interaction with you. They're also, again, mostly cleanup crew, but they do go about and do a lot of the different hunts as well. Should I say who they are, or should we still be cagey about names currently?
No, it's fine. He has a lot of respect for Saproides. Heckin', she's been real good to him. And yeah, she's been real nice and like helped him out with stuff and yada yada yada. Yeah, he has a lot of positive feelings about her.
They are a bit of a slacker in some respects. They do come and get you for a lot of the different missions that they go off and go and do. One thing that they do that because they know how bored you get. But also, again, you do know that they are shirking a lot of their responsibility a lot of the time.
Yeah, I imagine he probably does get on her case about that sometimes. But overall, generally positive feelings.
Good. The other huntresses do eventually make their way off and around. You and Saproides go off and go further off into the woods to settle things over by one of the god shrines. Allow me to go and get the other map, please. Something's happening behind me. I don't know what, but something is. I heard an ah, so. You make your way through the woods. As you do, it is again mostly getting to the end of the day, which is why the woods about themselves are mostly dark. That being said, dark is a strange word for this forest. This forest is usually relatively shaded. As you make your way through it, you were surprised whenever you heard that a god of any sort of wind would be around here. But apparently, the whole forest itself was sort of expanded around them at one point, and they weren't very happy about it. This whole area used to be plains, but eventually things sort of settled down. As you and Saproides make your way back, you do find that standing off and away from the shrine itself, there are several what appear to be boars mostly about, but you do also note, other than boars, there do appear to be bodies about. What appear to be bodies of other mortals around. As Saproides sort of steps their way off and through, they head over and look to the boars and sort of just like lean down toward them. They gave us a bit of a run for, honestly. Trained really well.
The boars did this?
Well, the boars and their masters, yeah. Apparently this one has a lot of enemies. but it's our job.
Yeah, it sure is. All right, let's get to work.
You look down toward some of the bodies. It does seem that Saproites is taking the most of the men that are off and around. They appear to be dragging them off toward like a different part of the wood. The boars themselves very heavy, but you and your dogs are able to get them mostly settled off and away. Whenever you do return to go and collect something else, you do run out of boar bodies, and you do look down toward one of the mortals that are laying on the ground, one of the other bodies that are laying there. You do take note that they do appear to be somewhat armed for combat. They are wearing not something you would expect would be in a woods. They are wearing very, very armored clothing that seems to be a lot more that you would think would be on a battlefield than anything. No leathers, no anything of that nature. But you also notice that the bodies themselves appear very gaunt, as if they were starved.
Ugh.
You find
Sorry, poor
Saproites make their way back. I wouldn't be too sorry about them. That one there, points over to one that's a little bit far away, got me real good in the shoulder with their club.
Oh, well.
And the one you're looking at almost had a strike against, well, the boss lady.
Oh, well then, I guess never mind.
When I say almost, it is, well, I guess relative. You know her.
Yeah. She doesn't hold back.
As you say that and you go to pick them up, you just hear a little bit of a slightly echoed tone throughout. And why should I? You look up over, and again, almost as if they were always there, they did not move into the way that into your sight or anything. You do see another figure over by the god statue, staring up toward it.
Oh.
You see this woman. Standing upon the stone, looking to them as if they are, basically, if anybody else would be standing on a god statue, you would probably be like, what are you doing there? What's happening? But they seem to be staring almost just into the eyes of this person, as if they are either communicating or showing some sort of dominance in their direction. As you see Artemis. And 1 second, while I say that, I think I just heard a help. I'll be right back.
Oh no. Well, Cody's dead.
All right, I'll take it over. So she turns you into a deer.
What?
And
So she turns.
I can cover anything Greek.
Yeah. So she turns you into a deer.
I don't know what you're referring to.
The last time a guy looked at Artemis, she turned him into a deer.
Oh, okay.
Then his own wolves ate him.
Oh. Fuck.
Oh no, his hunting party. God. The hounds mistook him for a deer because he was, and they, sad. Wasn't really his fault. In all honesty, I'm not sure. Kind of overreaction. But
Well, shit.
It was an accident. He found she was taking a bath in the spring. He just walked on by looking for a deer, and then
He just fucking anime tagged himself into a fucking
he got
death.
Yeah, he didn't even get a second to do anything. He just got oh, okay, deer, and then dogs, and oh, I guess I'm dead now. Those are assholes.
Yeah, they sure can be.
It's great.
Except Hades, weirdly enough.
The fucked up thing about Hades is he wasn't even he's not even an OG one. He showed up during the fucking gold era, the golden age, after Mycenaean, Mycenaean age, the dark ages. He wasn't a god before. He was just he was made up for the golden age.
His wife predates him.
Yeah, Persephone was around for a long time. Yeah. Which is why they all have a lot more stories about them. Well, not just Persephone, just in general. Hades is a background character in most of the stories he's in. You don't really do too much. Hey, except for that one where he's the main character of it.
Oh.
Yeah, he just does his job and doesn't get fucked with. Like, you don't interfere with those two things he wants and he's fine. He's also nice. Like, he warned Orpheus. It's a very simple thing. Don't turn around.
Don't make him deal with the other gods. They suck.
Yeah. I feel Hades on a spiritual level. You know, the Orpheus story is so stupid. It's so dumb. He literally said, don't turn around until you and her are both out of the underworld. Bada bing, she's fucking alive again. 100% back to life. We're good.
Am I mistaken in remembering that there being like a God of War thing that was similar to that? Or
A God of War?
Am I just being dumb? Because I've never played the originals. So
Hades a complete jerk off in God of War.
Okay.
He's a huge dick. Cool weapon. It rips out souls. It's a pretty cool weapon. But no, yeah. God of War, every god's a dick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the shtick with that. But I think one of the best interpretations of Hades I've seen is literally in Hades. The roguelite. You play as his kid Zagreus, Hades. It's great. He's just an overworked, grouchy old fuck who just wants to get his job done. But the job never ends.
It's
Sure it doesn't.
lovely.
Because, things are always dying, which means there's always a fucking line of souls that end up in his house. I think that's the process. It's like, I like how they named the underworld, like, the underworld's called the House of Hades, and they literally made it a house in the game. It's great.
Huh.
It's a literal house. I love it. I love things like that. Also, the Hades and Persephone story is just another case of, is this Zeus's fault?
Yeah.
Yeah. You look at anything Greek mythology, you could probably trace it back to Zeus.
But in this particular instance, it was turbo stupid Zeus's fault. He literally is like, Hades, like, I want a wife. It's like, Persephone's pretty available. Go get her, champ. And Zeus is like, should I tell her mom?
Basically,
Nah,
worst
it's
thing
fine.
Hades does is listen to his brother once.
Yeah, technically twice. Because the first time when they fucking drew straws or whatever to choose who gets what. Well, actually,
So there was a bird in my
looked up.
house.
There was a
There's a bird?
bird in your house?
There was a bird in my house.
What kind of bird?
Like a little robin.
Oh, how the heck did he get in there?
I don't know, but my mom's like, I can't get it out. Help.
Well, now,
Oh, yeah.
now you're a Disney princess. You have to keep it.
Oh no, they hate me.
Oh, well.
I turned on the vacuum cleaner and chased them with it. Because they wouldn't leave.
That's very mean.
They wouldn't
Fucking
leave.
Scott, like,
Fuck out of my house!
I didn't do anything with them. I just brought it near them, and then they're like, ah, and they flew away.
I
The
mean,
gods are sending
if it
curses,
works.
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, just on the mic we hear thump, in the background.
Very
Oh,
funny.
that's unfortunate.
Very funny, very haha. But yes, as I was saying before we left, she seems to be very much staring up at whatever god this statue is representing, as if they are staring them straight in the eyes. Even though they are shorter than the statue, you don't get that feeling looking at her. There doesn't appear to be any kind of them looking up at them. Even though they are shorter, they still appear to be sort of either on the same level or looking down at them, which is very odd, a very, very strange mix of feeling you get from it. But again, They are a very powerful goddess, as they are staring back, seemingly either in communication or some kind of reverence or some kind of ritual or whatever they're doing. They look back over in your direction. Is there any reason to?
I guess I didn't mean to imply that there was a reason to. Not against, people who are trying to attack you.
They were not.
Oh. What were they doing then?
They
If
were
I
not
might
trying to
ask.
attack us. They had a grudge against the one in this land. However, their grudge was petty. I tried to ask them to leave, but they saw a group of women hunters making their way to them and did not even seem to cross their mind that it may be my group of hunters. So they tried being boastful. In the end, I gave them a warning, attempted to make my way, and they got a little bit aggressive. And they have paid the price. And they have paid the price for it.
I see.
Though I do remember asking Seproites to be cleaning these up, not you.
Oh, well, I mean, I was already done with my stuff mostly, so I just wrapped it up and came over to help.
They look back. Seproites? Uh-huh. We don't need to have any other punishments, do we? Well, sorry. I don't mind. If you wish to help, you can help. Though, perhaps you could help me instead. Actaeon.
Yeah, sure.
That's how it's pronounced, right?
Sure. Actaeon, I think might be the proper
Actaeon?
name.
Okay. Actaeon, you make your way over. You do notice that the wolves go to start going with you, but then they stop. They're like, we'll get you over here. Immediately, again, Cirrus, who was having issue with Seproites before, is no longer growling at Seproites. They are on their best behavior. As Seproites, with a bit of a grumble, starts getting the other bodies off away. You make your way over.
What is it you need?
Honestly, nothing. Seproites
Oh.
needs to learn how to do their duties. Though, they do seem to get excited whenever I mention punishments now and again.
Huh?
Do you know of them? Of their last punishment?
I think they've mentioned it a couple times. And by that, I mean a lot.
They are... Well... They love to put on airs about things, though I've told them several times that their punishment is basically over. We can end it whenever they wish. I don't think that she wishes, though. She steps down, as she does.
Huh. I wonder why she's always complaining about it then.
I think she's worried that if she doesn't see it as a punishment, I'll take it away from her. She's not as sly as she thinks she is.
Would you?
Maybe. Depends on the deed that she had done to anger me. But at the moment, no. I'm perfectly fine to have her live the life she wishes to live.
Well, that's good.
And what about you, Actaeon? Is this the life you wish to live so far?
Well, I mean, it's been an honor being able to hunt with you guys. Even though I guess I technically haven't done that much actual hunting yet.
You've done quite a bit.
But...
You've been with us for what goes on now? 5 or 6 years?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I guess I more mean the big stuff. Like that one boar, like the huge one.
You were there, though. I suppose you did not get too many hits in, did you? Our honor was
Not
still your
really.
honor in that time. We hunt as a group. We hunt as a pack.
I know. I guess it's, how do I put it? I guess I just want to improve, you know?
And improve you
I
shall.
wanna-
I've had word from my brother. You know of them, Apollo.
Uh-huh.
They are always speaking of the mortals that they enjoy watching. They have enjoyed your archery thus far, and they had even attempted to bribe me in taking you.
Really?
You have made an impression with what little you have done, at least as far as what you said. Though I told him he cannot have you.
Well, thanks, I think.
Your vows will be completed soon. I trust that everything has been complete as far as those are concerned. If not, I may have to. If not, I may have to eliminate 2 of my hunters.
He like rubs his neck and looks away for a sec. Like
I trust
no,
all of them. I know that they have not done anything untoward, and you have not done anything untoward to them.
Yeah, I'm ready.
It is a slightly harsh life, you know.
I know, but I can't say I've ever cared too much about that kind of stuff anyway.
I cannot see the future like some of my family, so I do not know if that's something that you may come to regret or not. But I hope that you do not. I hope that this ends up being a wonderful place for you. I have looked into your situations over these last few years, and I have watched you as you have gone on our hunts, and I have seen you get frustrated with your lot. We will make our way to a hunt next week. Perhaps just you, me, and Saprotis.
Well, that sounds great.
She looks back toward the god that they were talking with. Sometimes I grow weary of this as well. Some gods seem to think of me as a janitor for them, as if they have much higher reach or much higher claim than I do, and they need to understand that I am not their servant. At which point, we will leave the men here. The bodies will be about this place for the wildlife to take in. We will take the boars with us.
Just gonna let them clean up their own mess then.
Essentially, we were not here to clear out men. We were here to clear out animals.
True enough.
Back down.
Yeah.
Good work.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And thank you for letting me, travel with you guys and hunt together. Never really said that, I guess.
Oh, you said it far more than you remember.
Okay, oh, did I?
I believe just yesterday.
Oh, well.
And the day
sorry about
before. And the day before, I believe I had too.
that. Yeah, maybe I say too much.
I'm glad that you have gotten more used to speaking with me. I know I come off aggressive in times. It is just how I have to be.
Mm-hmm.
She will go to walk by. As she does, she will basically put a hand up and tussle your hair slightly before stepping further. Is there anything you wish to say before they go to leave?
Can't really think of anything at the moment, no.
As she steps away, she seems to, for a moment, stand with a bit of a realization about them. Right. That would be good for you. I have yet to take my payment, Wind God. She brings her hand up, and as she does, what appears to be a wrapping of wind appears to come about her arm. Very similar to the fur wrapping that is around their shoulders. They begin to sway their hand back and forth slightly as you see the wind start to mold itself around her hands. Until finally, what appears to be a cloth appears in their hands. They step back over to you, the cloth turning less and less translucent as she goes to wrap it around your neck. You find, as she's done, a long red scarf is tied around your neck.
Whoa. What's this?
A present. We all get them from time to time. This should allow you to be as quick as the winds.
Whoa.
She glares toward the statue, and I'm sure that that's fine. Right? She does not wait for an answer. She just starts walking away.
The statue looks back to her. Thank you.
I'm going to hand you off your first item.
Alrighty.
You are given a long scarf.
Heck yeah.
This long scarf will give you +1 AC. It has 4 free slots to put things on top of. It gives you it says charisma plus. I thought that was supposed to be agility plus. My bad. Give me a second. Agility plus. So, as long as you have this, you are going to gain a plus onto your agility stat. So you are going from E to E plus.
Hell yeah.
You have a perfect slot for it. Perfect place for it. Look at that little plus. What the plus will mean is that as long as you have a plus, if you are to fight anything that has the same rank as you, which is to say rank E at this point, you will always have a advantage over them. The plus will basically essentially give you a roundabouts of +5 on anybody with the same rank as you.
Okay.
Very neat. Very nice.
Nice.
As she walks away, Saproites goes to return, and she's just like, Saproites, I've changed my mind. Leave the men's bodies alone. But no buts. As Artemis makes their way away.
I think he does have a little bit of a laugh. Kind of to himself.
Saproites just sighs and makes their way back over to you. She could have told me before I moved the big one.
Oh. I'm sorry about that.
Nice scarf.
Yeah, got it just now. It's a really cool gift from Lady Artemis.
She does seem to favor you.
Does she?
You haven't seen it?
I guess not.
The other hunters and I, we enjoy teasing you quite a bit about it. But we're decently sure that when it comes to new blood around, she enjoys showing some bits of affection toward them beforehand. She doesn't get to show it a lot to us. She's always worried that whenever she shows weakness, that it's an invitation from her brother or any of the others on Olympus. Shall we get the boars then?
Yeah.
You see a smile go across Saproiti's face, like, "Yay, you're still helping me with the boars."
Oh, well, I mean, she did tell me to not. Kind of. Whatever.
You
It'll help.
You and Saproites go to gather the remainder of the boars to return to camp with. As you guys do, you will find that there is a rather nice there is a rather nice celebration back at camp. Not anything like whenever you had hunted that giant boar or anything. But a rather nice little section where people came in from all about the forests to help with gathering resources, gathering foods. You guys were able to give meats to all the different wolves and animals, and of course have some for yourselves. As the hunt concluded, you do take note that none of the rest of the night do you see Lady Artemis. She stays behind mostly. She doesn't usually go and join in any of the celebrations.
Mm-hmm.
As you get through the end of the celebrations, the huntresses make their way off to go and have their bath time. As all the huntresses leave, you and Saproites, as well as the few other male hunters that remain behind. Saproites just sighing as they sit back and just like look over toward the fire.
What's going on?
I'm on guard duty.
Oh.
You'll have duty tomorrow, so be sure to rest up.
All right.
Something up?
He like looks at her for a moment, ponders the conversation he had with Artemis about their punishment. Nah, nothing.
Don't worry. It's not as boring as it looks. As Saproiti goes over to the cliff face and just sort of leaps up to the top. Whereas again, most of them just walked around. She then seems to go off toward the bathing area that is off away from this place. You note that the entirety of the forest around here is basically wherever Artemis decides it to be. It seems to go where off it needs to go. So they usually, depending on wherever you guys are making your way, have some access to at least some of the utilities about the place. So you're never too far away from a bath at any given time.
Yeah.
You spend the night. As you do, you rest up. You think back to the different things that have transpired currently. Lady Artemis did seem like she was a little bit favorable to you, but at the same time, she did also have those moments where she did seem to essentially say that she was somewhat restless or somewhat unimpressed with the things about. But she seemed very much kind to you. Before you had came here, you hadn't had a ton of interactions with actual gods or goddesses. You had stories and you had been around some of them, but never this much time. Again, going on your 6th year at this point. Lady Artemis was talking about it being almost time for you to complete your vows, for you to say your vows, which again, one of the big ones being if you are a hunter of Artemis, you are to remain chaste for the remainder of your time that you spend. Another one is essentially to take the same oath as them, as basically cleaning up and taking care of the many forests about here, especially the one outside of Mount Olympus. Other than that, though, you are essentially free. You don't have to do the cleanup duties that Artemis does, though many of the hunters and huntresses stick around to perform those duties with them. And again, as she mentioned, at least as far as what she said, any glory that they have is glory for the entirety of the pack, for the entirety of the hunters. Even though, again, you remember going and fighting that boar and setting off that one arrow against it that actually hit, you feel that she found that to be just as much of a contribution as anybody else's. When you go to lay down to rest, Is there anything in particular that you feel that you would like to go over with yourself, or is there anything in particular you'd like to do with your dogs or with Saproites or with anybody around?
I think he would like kind of mess around with his new scarf. I think he'd like kind of try to like dart around and see how it feels to move faster with it.
You find that your speed is essentially increased whenever you have it. You also note that it seems to sometimes billow on its own, as if the wind is somewhat affecting it. You tying it behind you and letting it go out to its full length appears it just sort of like billows out and about. You could also tie it a lot tighter, like we see in your current reactive, and the edges of it seem to slightly billow off as if a wind is affecting them. Even though this is apparently made from the power of another god, you do feel mostly the powers of Artemis coming from this. You find that it reminds you a lot of their presence.
Mm-hmm.
It's very nice. Little scarf of billowing.
I think he'd like use it to kind of like dart around and play with his dogs for a bit.
Oh, heck yeah.
Before settling in.
You and your hounds spend a good bit of the night with that. Eventually, you do find that the huntresses, Saproites and Lady Artemis, do return, allowing for the men to go and do their baths. As things are considered, Saproites does come back last because Saproites needed to make sure to clean up and make sure that nothing was left behind at the area before you guys made your way there. Whenever you guys have your baths, you end up eventually going to rest at the very end of the day, and the new day approaches. During this day, you have essentially full reign over anything you'd like to do. There is no major hunt happening at this point. Nobody has any work that they need to be done. You do find that if you would like, on this given day, you can go and speak to any of the people that are off in the group. Lady Artemis is off and about, just sort of looking off into the different pieces of the woods as if to either survey it or feel something from it. The other huntresses are again off doing any scouting that they were doing, but mostly just walking in the woods at this point. They don't really have anything to do during this part of the day. And Saproites, just like always, is over by where the dogs are. You find that even whenever the other dogs are around Saproites, they seem to give off slight growls at them, and they're like, I don't know what to do with you. I honestly don't know.
Animal's not a fan.
They're not like aggressive or attack her or anything, but they are just very much like a, you, all right, whatever.
No pets.
They don't have any sort of animal magnetism like you or Artemis do. Is there anybody you would like to, in particular, go and see during this part of the day?
I guess we can go talk to Saproites.
You make your way down from the camp. You and Cirrus and Agrius, sort of walking off and about, looking over towards Saproites, who is feeding the animals currently, but just with a bit of a sigh doing so, because they are like basically staying at arm's length every time. She's just like, I do not know what to do here.
What is it with you and dogs?
I've never been a great animal person, I guess. I don't know. I've never been able to really get with them, you know?
I can't relate, but I
you
know
seem to be a natural.
What it is you're talking about.
It's like, yeah, you seem to be a natural. She crosses her arms.
What?
It's fine. I'm playing around.
So what do you got? What do you got going on today?
Nothing much. Currently, we don't have many things to do. I know that we're to be preparing for the rituals going off in the next week, as well as preparing for your ceremony. Other than that, not much. I was thinking about going and seeing the base of Olympus for them for the time being, but even then, I don't really wish to go too far out and about.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a trip, but I mean, we wouldn't have to go too far out. Would you be willing to go and help me catch some food for Agrius and Cirrus here, and these two as well.
She looks down toward the wolves that are like eating the bits of boar that they had given them, as she goes, yeah, maybe something fresher would get them in the better mood.
Could be. You never know. They love food.
Is that what you do? Do you like rub food on your hands or something to get them to like you?
No. I mean, I give them food. I'm sure that helps.
Yeah, I've tried it. They just bit my hand.
Ouch.
It's fine. Nothing like an actual bite.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell that they aren't aggressive. They just prefer everyone else.
I'm sure you'll tame one someday.
One day I'll find my dog.
Yeah.
Shall we go? What are Cirrus and Agrius in the mood for?
Well.
Fish,
had deer in
boar,
a bit.
deer.
Go for some deer.
You just want to go hunting.
I gotta own it somehow.
All right, let's go.
All right.
You find as you make your way off into the woods. We'll get you guys over here just for the time being, just to have different sceneries. You spend a good portion of the morning going off and tracking a large stag that has made their way through this place. You do make sure as you do that it is not one that is essential to the livelihood of the family, because again, Artemis is a goddess of raising and childbearing and things of that nature. You make sure that this buck or whatever is here is not one that is going to be missed, essentially. It will be missed, but like not one that is crucial for the survival of any of the other smaller deer.
Doesn't have bebes.
No bebes. As you follow it about and as you make your way through, it does eventually get to a point where you are essentially tracking it down. As you see it in your sights, she looks to you. Why don't you take this one then?
All right. Here we go. And he will get all set up, draw the bow, and phew.
As you go to phew, the bow, why don't you give me a straight d20 roll, please?
Hell yeah.
You can either throw it here in the dice tower, which people find fun, or you can just roll it. There you go.
Eh.
That is
That's
a natural
fucking
one. Luckily for you, you did get a fleeting earlier, and you got a fleeting now, so you have 2 rolls you can do again.
Thank you, chat.
That is not looking good for that being the first roll of the game.
That's an 18. That's way better.
And then roll me one more time. That's so funny, though.
Y'all saved the tone for the rest of the campaign. Thank you so much.
That is so
That's
funny.
5, so I'll take the 18.
You find that whenever you take the bow that you're handed, you line the shot up perfectly well. You get the deer in your sights, and you are able to take it out extremely swiftly. You do note that whenever you were just out and about before all of this, you were never really that trained with a bow, nor were you did you ever expect a bow to travel at the speed that it does here. You do find that being in the hunters has elevated your stats per se, as far as things are concerned. But it is almost a superhuman level of as the arrow flies, striking completely through. You're decently sure it felt no pain and just sort of is gone. As it goes through, you find, looking over to it, there is an approving smile from Saproites as they give a clap. You go to return the bow, and she just looks to you. Keep it.
Oh, really? I mean,
I have
don't
plenty.
you need this? Oh, well, thank you, I guess.
Not only that, it's going to be a little bit difficult for you to wield it at first right now, but you'll grow into it, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
You were given a short bow? It does not appear to have many extra features or any kind of things about it. I will say though, with your current setup, you cannot wield this yet.
Oh, okay.
It is currently too big.
Too big.
You need to get one of these gone for you to be
Well,
able
the
to use
short bow is too big for me.
it. Don't worry, there are shorter. And again, like I said, you'll be getting rid of these relatively quickly. This is something that I can tell you about for things though. If you do see a way you can use it, you definitely can through flipping things around. It does look like there is some way.
I was about to ask that.
too.
I thought I did. I didn't.
But at the same time, you can also whenever you have items here, you can just have them laying about. I will technically say that you are still carrying these, but they are not equipped, essentially. So you do not have to worry too much on holding your equipment. Now, when it comes to actual items like potions and things of that nature, you will have to have certain bags or certain things to be hold them. But currently, you don't have to worry about the bow here. That being said, I see a way you can use this as we go. Bloop. Oh no, you're right! Damn it! It's just a little bit.
That's exactly what I saw.
Hold on.
And
Can I flip it the other way? Can I flip? No.
Nope.
Dang
Wait.
it.
No, you can't.
Dang it. We'll get it. We'll get it.
It's fine.
We'll get it. We'll get it in there. Luckily, you don't need your bow right now.
Yeah.
But you are able to take on the deer. You and Saproites go to it. You are able to get it cleaned, get it nice and ready for feeding to the animals. It is quite a large catch as well, as you do find yourselves going back and being able to have enough food for not only the wolves but also for the people as they do go to return. Around this time, because it was a very good shot as well as a very relatively clean one, you guys don't spend too much time doing that. You do still have a little bit of time in the day. We are around noon at this point. By the time you guys return, you spend a couple of hours preparing the food, and at this point it is basically according to our own understanding of time, around 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
As you and Saproites go about doing this, getting things ready, you do find that Saproites does, when they go to give the food to the animals, they do somewhat be a little bit less aggressive with them with the new fresh meat that's going in, but they do give still very much like looking at them as they're eating, and she's like just sort of like leaned onto the ground just watching them.
Gotta let them come to you.
But
Takes patience.
At this point, with Saproites attempting to get anything out from the dogs and the wolves, with yours currently eating, is there anything else you'd like to do before the end of the day?
After having prepared all the food, I'd say you probably just hang out and try to see how this whole situation goes with her and these dogs here.
Okay.
Offer any pointers you can.
We will get to the end of the day. As we do, we will find that a lot of the huntresses will go about doing their stuff, getting themselves ready for the hunts that will come on the next day. You find that Saproites eventually, upon just listening to what you said, is just sort of sitting back at the rest of the food, just like watching, just like looking away a little bit, like, no, don't come to me, I don't have anything. When the food does run out from the dogs, you do find one of them does go to approach them to get more. Saproites looks to them, and I'm gonna roll for Saproites.
Do it. Make an animal friend.
That is a natural one.
God damn it!
Saproites looks to them, a look of whimsy going across their face. They look over as the wolf slowly gets near them, and then they hold out the slab of meat, and then the dog barks and jumps back. Like, ah!
Oh, you'll get him next time.
As that is going down, eventually you are just watching Saproites from a bit far away, as I seriously don't understand what's up with them and beasts.
Me neither. I don't know. I guess some people just like are not. They just don't attract.
They're very good to have around camp. Nothing ever disturbs us.
Is that what it is? That why it's always like? Is that why it's always peaceful at night?
I don't know if I would put it on the level of a curse, but maybe. Again, looking back at them, you are used to it at this point, but they did not approach. They just sort of appeared where you were.
You're really good at sneaking up on people.
I am exhausted.
Yeah? I mean, it's almost time to turn in, so I guess it's time for me to take over guard duty.
Yep, you will be guarding the bath today. Currently, the issues that are going on are the normal ones, so don't worry too much. They won't affect us at all. I just have many different, I guess, remarks from family members to come back and visit them.
Oh.
Apollo is up to his usual things. He's attempting to get people to come to different performances and whatnot, showing his favorite mortals off, I suppose. And then there is my father, who is doing his usual hijinks.
Uh-huh.
How is your father? How is your relation with them?
My father, I get along with him great. He taught me some of what he knows about, archery and stuff and just simple kind of crafts and all that. But yeah,
you are able to
really
do
good.
really decently in handicrafts and stitching.
Yeah. He's, well, when got a handicraft's got to be pretty good at it, I guess, right?
I suppose, yes. They look off and about. I do wish that I had a better relationship with my father.
Yeah. I've only heard the stories, but
The
there are a lot of
stories do not
stories.
the stories do not do him justice. That being said, the stories are not wholly inaccurate either. Mortal men get their stories going rather lavaciously, but not without merit. He is rather him. There is always some truth to fiction.
Uh-huh.
Odd.
Hmm?
I felt something there.
Felt what?
I felt that that's something that I should tell you.
What do you mean?
She thinks for a moment. I don't know. I've never had any sort of visions or anything of that nature, at least in this kind of way, but when I said those words to you, I felt that that was something you needed to know. That there's always some truth to fiction. Perhaps it is for a battle that you have yet to come across? If you find that you are having difficulties with an opponent, perhaps look into their stories. See what they may have struggled against and see what you can do to figure that out. Again, there's always some truth to them.
It's an oddly specific, prophetic inkling that you had, but I'll try to remember it.
I guess that just means you have many battles ahead of you.
Well, that's kind of the goal.
Well. They look over to Seproites, who at this point is just like taking the bits of food and just putting them into bowls and then walking away. Well, I'll be making my way then. I am exhausted, as I said. Talking with them is most of the energy that I have at any given day. There is one other thing, Actaeon.
Yeah?
You're a clever one. If there is anything that prophecy or that feeling that I had, I'd like to, instead of telling you something vague, tell you something useful.
He just tilts his head.
You are a hunter in my party. You are someone who can overcome any odds. Even though you've only been here a short time, you have trained every day. There is not a single foe that you face that you cannot take down. Give your wit, your strength, your cunning, your speed. You'll have some way to get through them. And there's never harm in talking either. My goal is to prepare you for whatever lies ahead. As long as you keep your oaths.
No worries there. Thanks for the guidance.
It's better than any prophecy could be. Actual information is better than anything.
Yeah, the stories tend to be really muddy about those things.
Oh, and one final thing. I know how you are around gods. And those of us who are the way we are. The last thing that I will say to you. Powers that be, like myself, are not omniscient. We have flaws just like you. As you very well know. When I say there is not a single foe out there that you cannot beat, I am being sincere.
That's good to hear.
They always
Guess
want
it means
something. Whether it's something you can provide or something you can do for them in the future or something that leads to something. They will always want something. Even I want something. Though, what that is from you, I don't yet know. I'll let you know whenever I can think of it. And hopefully it is not something that brings you to harm.
Well, I'm not going anywhere.
Don't worry, I won't ask for an arm or a leg or something. They start making their way away.
Thank you.
She puts a hand up over her head and just sort of gives a wave. Once more, you find that just like all the others, they make their way off toward the baths. This is not the first time you have been guarding the baths. You have done this a few times before. They have set up guards several times amongst the years, mostly from what you understand because of Saproites. The idea that, again, their entire problem at the moment is mostly due to the fact that they are being in punishment for potentially accidentally making their way over to the baths. But now they have people watching over things for that. You make your way over and you stand there. Upon doing so, you look to your dogs, who get up to go and follow you. However, you're decently sure there's nothing going off and about. They seemed comfortable over by the fire.
Yeah. Let them sleep.
You put a hand to them. You stop them from approaching. You let them stay down over at the flames. A little bit of time goes by. You're at a position where they have taken quite a while back there. As you do find approaching you from one of the opposite sides is Saproites. As Saproites steps out and starts making their way, they look over to you, Actown, and they seem to be looking with a bit of a smile as they bring over what appears to be another large slab of the meats from before, and they hand it over to you. What are you still doing here? As you take it, it is very much a greasy piece of meat at this point. It gets basically all over your hands.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry about that.
It's fine.
What are you still doing here?
I'm on guard duty.
Well, the others already came back. You've been
Really?
staring off into space?
They didn't come by.
They look over to you. Believe me, they are very quiet and quick when they want to be.
I mean, I guess she is always sneaking up on me.
I've still yet to actually see them moving anywhere. When they're in battle, they rush too fast for me to even see. Yet they're always right behind me. They look behind them.
Looks behind him.
There's nothing there. You should go and get cleaned up. I'll watch for you. Oh, and when you're going there, be sure to do your duty. Make sure nothing got left behind.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, thanks.
No problem. It was just a smirk from them.
Weird way to say that. He will take the meat and he will walk away.
You're weird. Bye. You find yourself making your way off and away. As you do. You step off toward what appears to be this version's area of the bathing chamber. It's usually different depending on the areas that they're currently in, but this one is one you guys use quite often. Again, being at the base of Mount Olympus and all. As you guys make your way, as you make your way there, you find a large pool-like area surrounded by these marble stones off and about, just sort of in a large circular pattern. As you walk your way toward it, you do note that there is not a lot of huntresses here. Luckily enough, they do seem to have made their way away whenever you weren't looking. As you step off and about, you step through, you find that there's a lot of small lights that seem to have been just sort of levitating off and about. You know them to be something akin to fae or fae spirits, tiny small little balls of what appear to be magic. You make your way forward and you look off and about at this place until you do seem to step through where the circle of the marble statues are. This is way too inspirational.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
So how about we do this instead? As you step through the stones, you find in front of you what appears to be a figure, seemingly again, almost out of nowhere in front of you. You see what appears to be Artemis in the center of this large pool. As you see them, they appear to have their back to you at the time, but as soon as you stepped forward and then as soon as you go, they do seem to look back at you. There is a look of shock that goes across their face slightly, but then what appears to be a look of almost exhaustion that goes over their face.
Like he immediately he drops the meat completely. He just goes to cover his eyes hey, sorry, I'll go.
Act on.
I was told it would be empty. I'm sorry. I'll go. I'll forget everything I saw. I didn't see anything. What do you mean?
You try to turn to leave, but you are not able to. You feel as if your legs are currently numb. As she looks to you, again, a look of tiredness over them, but you see that look of exhaustion, that look of tiredness, almost look to be a look of sadness go across their face. Yes, I can see that this is not something that you planned. Do not worry. It was an accident.
I'm really sorry.
Be that as it may. They turn to look to you. Again, completely unashamed of any sort of form that they are taking currently. They step in your direction as you are, again, every fiber of your being is telling you to flee, but you are not able to.
The flight response is real. His legs will not answer.
She stands to look to you. For a moment, the small adornment of the moon appears back onto their chest, and you see this almost flowing dress appear over them. Something that you would only feel that they would actually take whenever they are on Mount Olympus instead of out in the forest with everyone else. As they look to you, you do find that looking to them, they are giving off a presence of beauty, obviously, but you're not focusing on that at the moment.
No.
Actaeon.
Yeah.
You should wash your hands. They motion back toward the water as they step back.
Like he's like still like his hands aren't like up to his eyes anymore, but like he's definitely like doing everything he can to look in the exact opposite direction of her.
Do you refuse?
No.
You find you can walk forward, you just cannot walk back.
He will go very nervously.
As you step forward, you get to the small pond in front of you. You dip your hands down and you get the grease and oils of the deer meat off of your hand. As she looks to you, you find, staring down into the water, your form start to change. Just your reflection, not you, but you find a silhouette of blackness looking back at you. Actaeon. You're unable to look behind you as she says this.
Yeah.
For those who have not made their vows to look upon me in such a way is, unfortunately, against the rules. Even when you do have that look or those vows upon you, it is difficult for me to have lenience. Do you understand?
He like gives a very like nervous nod.
Their tone sort of goes back upwards into almost a playful tone again. Then what shall I do with you? Perhaps the best option is the same that I did to Saproites. Though, from what I can see there, that usually just leads to someone enjoying those punishments. I don't blame you. You would look very pretty.
What are you talking about? I would hate it.
No. There's a better thought that I have. They stare down into the water that your hands of the oils mixed. They look back toward the meat that lays onto the ground. Perhaps it is best that you continue to join us for our hunts, Actaeon. Though, if we can't have you like this, then perhaps you can join every one of us in our bellies.
What?
She raises her hand, and as she does, your form in the water changes once more. You look down as you see your form turn from that of a boy into a large horned stag. The exact same look upon it as the one that you had seen before. Your scarf's also there. That's neat.
Uh-huh.
As she looks to it, and you feel that again, that sense of wanting to run away but being unable to, you see her face appear in the water next to yours. At least in this way, you can continue your vow and be with us forevermore. But it wouldn't be sporting to do it like this, would it? They flick their hands. As they do, flourishing upwards, you feel the numbness in your legs completely disappear.
The instant it's gone, he like stumbles and falls and quickly like gets up and just fucking runs.
It is very hard to move these legs, these arms. You try to like call out, but there's no sound that comes out that is legible to you. As you run away from them, they look back to you. And you hear them as they speak, almost as if they're speaking in your very ear. Oh, Actaeon. You know that once one is hunted by me, they will fall to me. They do not make any moves to rush after you. You rush off into the night, into the forest. You find yourself running rather well at the very least. You're really fast.
Cool. That's great.
Wow, you're so fast.
Good for me.
You rush off into the woods, into the forest. Is there anything that goes across your mind? Is there any place you'd like to go? Is there any place you'd like to feel that you can rush to? Is there anything you can go to?
I guess Soproites.
You rush out to where Soproites was. As you rush over toward the area, you do find that Soproites seems to be laying there, looking up at the area, just sort of looking as if they have been like laughing. You find that as you get close, they are still somewhat giggling as you get to them. Though when you jump out into the way, they look to you. As they do, the deer from earlier.
He will fucking give her a fucking headbutt.
You bring your head down in your antlers and you knock them back as they do fall onto their butt. Are you actually trying to hurt them, or are you pushing them?
No, it's just like a fucking like what gives kind of a push.
As they push, as you push them, they go back onto their butt. As they look back up towards you, for a moment they see you, and again, like look at you in confusion, like what's this fucking deer doing? However, they then look to your scarf. As for a moment, a look of sort of almost elation goes by as they're about to laugh, but then you hear something. You hear an echoey voice in your mind. You also see Soproites seems to have the same sort of hearing. There is a monster deer in our midst. We will not rest until it's down. Find me the deer. She has just put a hunt out on you. As Soproites looks to you like, wait, what?
He sees that.
You
he
hear
looks to her,
the howling of wolves behind you as well.
and he just fucking looks back to that, looks to her, and just for a moment hesitates, and then he just fucking runs with a sad look on his face.
You don't have a sad look. You're a deer. You're always sad.
As sad as the deer can look.
As you rush off, you stumble off into the night. You find things get darker and darker to the point that it's very hard to see anything in front of you. But you still hear the howling of wolves behind you. You still hear the thundering feet of hunters rushing in your direction. You hear the whistles and calls from the hunters in your troop going after you. But then you hear something off. You hear a chuckling. Not Saproites, not any of the huntresses or hunters you can tell, but some kind of chuckling happening in the night sky. For some reason, the chuckling seems familiar, but you can't really put it on anything. But then you remember where you heard that chuckling. You don't know if this is in your own head or if this is real, but you hear the chortling and chuckling of the god that had slighted your family. Do you remember who that is?
Yup. Good old Dionysus.
As you hear the chuckling, as you look up in surprise, expecting to see someone or something, you fall. Something ahead of you seems to either rise up or something ahead of you seems to get in your way. There's a stone or a root or something that seems to trip you up. You're already moving in a weird way for a deer especially, but you're very top heavy as well. As you hit and you tumble and you fall, you're in pain. You look down towards your legs. You find that one of them is broken. You feel like you know these woods. You know that root should not have been there. You've been over this place hundreds of times. But as you look bleeding on the ground, you hear that chuckle one more time before it's replaced with a growl. You look to just before where you were, as what appears to be a small amount of light escapes from the area. A malicious, strange light forms about as the moon seems to illuminate the things in front of you. You see Agrius and Sirius. Cyrus? Cirrus. We did it. We figured it out eventually. You see your dogs looking down upon you. As they look down at you, growling, the chuckling continues. You find the two of them approaching. Is there anything you want to do?
I think he would try his best to speak and just say, like, Agrius, Cirrus, easy boys. It's okay. I'm not food. But obviously deer noises.
When you say you're not food, there is one final thing that I want you to realize as you watch these two making their way to you. I would like you to please roll me one more straight d20. But I'll be nice, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of your major stats.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a +3.
Okay.
That is an
20
unnatural
total.
20. Right when you say that you are not food, you smell the area about you. You look at the area about you. You feel the same smell of the greasy food that you had touched before. The ones that you washed off from what Artemis had said. Artemis told you to wash it off. But you still smell it. In the air around you. The smell of juicy meat. If you got anything less than an 18, I would not tell you this, but you got a 20.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just by looking at your dogs, that you had fed them before all of this as well. But as you see them, they look ferociously hungry.
Come on, boys, you recognize me, right? Please.
They step closer and closer. And unfortunately, they are not able to hear you. As Agrius and Cirrus jump at you. And then everything goes dark. Take a slide interlude. Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, when you went to go get the bird, I was just talking about, hey, I'll just take over. And I told Eric, so you turn into a deer.
No, very funny. Earlier, Nightshad's just like, yo, why don't you just die right here today?
Yeah, Lynn, I remember
I
saying the same thing.
I forgot the name of the dude was Acteon when I told this exact story. Because I saw Artemis and Hunters. I'm like, the only story I know about Artemis and Hunters is Acteon. But I didn't know the name Acteon at the time. I forgot. And then this is, I'm just sitting here like, oh no. I literally said verbatim the three big things that happened.
So I told Eric some things about what would happen today, and Eric told me a few things as well. I did specifically keep certain things away. What are you feeling right now, Eric?
That was surprisingly terrifying. Like I found that like, because I remember us joking about this when we first created the character. It's like, this is silly. I'm playing a dude who gets eaten by his own fucking dog. Turns into a deer. And that was like, oh my god, this is actually like sad.
like it's genuinely like a terrible thing that happens for no good reason.
Yeah.
So I want everyone to know, I did ask Eric at one point, do you want it to be other dogs?
And I was like, no.
I know it's hard. I told Eric, hey, I'd say try not to die, but given the setting, at least try to make it cool.
I swear I did
made that.
What do you think about what do you think about the giggling? About those little giggles?
I didn't expect that shit.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Neat bit of flair you've added to the whole thing.
I swear I didn't know. I'm sorry.
The fun thing about Acteon is that, like Cyproites, they have a very similar story that happened, but also they have a lot less story than a lot of other historical figures, so you can play with it as much as you fucking want.
Yeah. Acteon shows up once. There's a couple. They only show up once for one thing, and that's it.
The biggest
Yeah.
thing they do is they help with the God, what's the boar called? The
Caledonian boar.
Yeah, the Paladonian boar.
Caledonian boar.
That's one of the big
Yeah,
things.
Caledonian.
They're one of the hunters there, and that's it. And then they get
I
eaten
think
by their
it's-
own dogs.
And I
fucked
couldn't
up
even
thing
find
is that means-
record of him being there for the boar thing.
It depends on who you ask.
I mean, yeah.
The big thing about the Caledonian, the big thing about the boar is that's the Atalanta story.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Which is funny 'cause,
Atalanta's off doing their own thing over in Zelda.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, so that's
Fun
and then fun.
The Caledonian boar is what the sons of Caledon and Zenless are named for.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty sick. That's why they're all
Put that
pigs.
together.
That's like little piggy guys, Caledonian. Anyway, yeah, no.
Did you like hanging out with your girls?
Yeah, they were fun. Until one of them fucking turned me into a deer.
How angry is Acteon?
Drank you literally to death.
We'll have to find out how angry they are. I mean, right now
We'll
they're
have to
not
find
very
out.
angry at all. They're dead.
Yeah. I would be so fucking pissed off. I'd be cursing their name until my last dying thought. Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah.
A lot of like angry boars and myths because boars kill people really easy, but still.
Yeah.
So
What
when
is
it came to the random wind god back here, I had a name for them. I cannot find him at all.
Was it Aeolus?
You'll have time to look it up.
It was in my notes, and I do not know where the fuck it is. So I've just been avoiding saying their name the entire time.
Yeah, I was so close to asking you for a name, and then other people kept talking, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that.
I've been literally just like looking through my notes, like I don't have a lot on this section, so I'm like, come on, where's it? I must have wrote it on something else, like a different freaking thing. But they're a god of the winds. They're a god of one of the winds. Or I think of like one of the things winds do or some shit.
There's a lot of gods and deities in Greek myth that are just like quotes gods.
Zephyros? Maybe. I don't know. I cannot remember. Boreas? Maybe as well. I do not know. All I know is that one of the big things with them is that they one of the big things that like stopped them from becoming a big god was literally a punishment that happened to them because they got boastful and a forest sprouted around them essentially.
Yep.
Like a bunch of not necessarily a forest, but like a bunch of blockades appeared around them to where like their winds are always obstructed or something.
I like the deer has like little hair and things at the top, and also it's got a scarf and a quiver, and it's like, yeah, that's probably a deer we should probably kill and not think about.
Whenever we look at the deer, now we can look at it in regular lighting. Look at this, look at it. So the deer form was made by Fomol. And I was like, I want to keep some things on there, so give him a little quiver and keep his scarf.
Yeah.
I think the scarf got bigger on you because you're a fucking deer. Deer are not small.
The scarf can be as long.
Time.
The scarf can be as long or short as it needs to be. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. And this is now the second time that Fomol has designed an alternate animal form for one of my characters in Summoners Network.
Have fun
I
shooting
just
with
find that
hoods.
funny. Yeah. Right.
Oh, shit.
Draw your bow and fight back.
That's great.
Yeah, the scarf is made out of wind. Ooh,
Ooh.
or fun thing. Haha. Oh,
I
you
didn't
just
expect you to incorporate that. I just thought that was a neat little thing he had.
so you just had a
That's very cool.
combat.
Oh,
A combat
I
did just happen.
Give me my experience.
Your experience
No.
is you can remove one more thing on your thing. Every combat, after every combat, you guys will be able to remove one square from your thing.
Really? Huh.
Yep.
This is a formality at this point because we're in backstory. Whenever we get to the actual game, you guys will all have the exact same amount of these unlocked. So if, for example, there's a lot of fighting in one of the other backstories, I'll catch you all up. But for now, if you'd like to remove one of these, you can.
I will remove this one.
Why?
Because I just feel it's calling to me.
More
If you want to equip your bow.
With your bow.
Also, chat, remember, E rank doesn't mean basic human.
Oh
E
no.
rank means up to 10 times normal human. So could be normal, could be an Olympiad.
E rank is not normal human. It is within the possibility of a strong human to fight. But I'm also gonna be giving you this.
What?
You have a little quiver.
Ah.
A quiver.
Yeah, here's your little quiver. So one thing about the system here, you see that in your long scarf it says you have four free slots. Your bow does not have that, but your scarf does. If you would like to, you can go bloop, and just put one of these on top there. And now that is one of your free slots. You have your quiver there, and though now you're always equipped with your quiver.
Ah.
You can put all your arrows here. This quiver can hold up to 20 arrows.
Hell yeah.
Hey, good job.
I like how you tried to make it as close to the art as possible.
It's there.
It's great. I like it. It's the little things that matter the most in some cases, and this is one of them.
And this goes on my scarf, you said, on the thing?
No, it's equipped, but it's equipped on you, but because your scarf has slots, we're saying that that's what's mechanically is taking it up. Gotcha. This would be like on your waist.
Okay.
Yeah.
But mechanically you have it equipped.
Okay.
Yeah, so your inventory is not just your amount of equipment slots you can have. Your stuff can have lots of things.
Mm-hmm.
Or no things.
So for example, your short bow here, while it does have the slots open, they don't have any equipment slots. It doesn't have any of the free slots that your scarf does. However, if you get something like, for example, let me get some music going, because right now we're just sitting in silence, eh?
Oh, yeah.
So for example,
Also,
if you were to find something from like a broken phantasm or during a fight, that would give you any kind of increase or decrease in something, be it attack or damage or anything like that, you would get something like this. Bloop. And what these things would do would be like, oh, adds a +1 to damage. So you put that on your weapon, and now your weapon has a +1 to damage. So you can put upgrades on these, but you can't put items on these. Yeah. We'll talk more about it whenever we get to like the actual mechanics of everything. But yeah, that's basically how that works. If it says it has free slots, you can put items on them. If it doesn't say it has free slots, you can put upgrades on them. And certain things have slots already taken up before you use them. Like a bunch of armors have like certain slots taken up that you can attempt to fix later on or just get rid of, yada yada. We'll get more into that as we go along.
Hey,
because
anyone
of
mind if I put pixel art on some of these boards?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
When it comes to your stuff right now, we're not going to tackle your stats amazingly right now. That being said, we have your one little plus in agility right now because of your scarf. I would like you to choose two of your ranks here. Whenever you choose two of your ranks, either strength, agility, magic, luck, defense, charisma, phantasm, we're gonna give you an increase there in any of those because of your great rolls you have made. I will allow one of them to be a plus and one of them to be a rank up. So, what do you want to do? Where's your plus going? A plus
like
again will give you
not the most appropriate one given what just happened.
Believe you me, you're starting with lower luck. Whenever I get the F in here, you're getting an F in luck. I've already shown you your sheet.
Cool.
I've already shown you your sheet. That one's sticking. You're gonna have an F in luck.
Gotcha.
At least in the beginning.
Makes sense. Strength is used for just like attacking,
physically attacking,
right?
and things of that nature. In your staggy form that you have currently, that would be how you would go with those kind of attacks. Would be either your strength or defense.
Okay.
So as long as one of those is up, you're probably good. And honestly, defense is probably better for you. But
yeah, I think I'll probably put it in defense.
Okay, that's gonna be your plus.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very good. And which of these is going to get a rank up whenever I get the rank up going?
Agility is used for like what again?
Agility is going to be your major thing for your bow. That's going to be mainly your attacking stat with your bow. You will also find agility being good for dodging, basically a bunch of things. Luckily for you, you're a servant, so you don't have your focus and your movement into two separate stats. You just have agility.
Okay. I think I want to put my rank up in agility.
Okay, we will say I don't have it. I can make it right now. Let's go ahead and just make it real quick. And then we plus, and then we make the D. You're gonna get a D. No, a D. Listen to me.
Well, like, I'll take an A if you have it.
Oh, D plus.
Nice.
And let's go ahead and get the F in. There we are. I had always planned on giving you F luck.
Yeah, figures.
See, F is something in this that would be probably lower than a person.
It'd be like a negative stat.
Because usually you don't get Fs in actual Fate in a lot of things.
Had to make a whole new rank just for how shitty my fucking luck is.
Yeah, this is what we have so far. Depending on what the others will do during their games, maybe you'll get more of these things, and maybe you'll get more of these things for the remainder of this, because we're not done with your backstory. So how about let's get this going. As everything goes dark, you feel something tug at you. Not the teeth of your animals, luckily. You feel something almost pulling at you, pulling at your shoulders, pulling at your very being. I will remind you that you do not have to answer these questions. But you are filled with the knowledge around you of a certain event, a fight, a war. The first thing that is told to you as your mind fills with the information of this event, of this ceremony, this ritual, is that if you should choose to, you can take part in this ritual. By taking part in this ritual, you will continue to exist. This ritual could be something small, something large, but you also note that this is something that's usually only brought up to the strongest of heroes. You feel something about this. You feel that time seems to have stopped for you. What that means, you don't know. But you feel that if you wish to keep continuing to exist, at least in the form that you have, and not find your way to the underworld, that you should agree to take part in whatever it is this is. It is up to you. Do you agree? Or will you allow yourself to be taken to the underworld? Which again, for people who know, the underworld is not like automatically like the worst thing fucking ever in the history of everything. That's just where the dead go. It's not hell.
Yeah.
It's just where the dead go.
But yeah, no, he instantly agrees.
You were told that because of certain rituals, in certain ways and shapes and how they bring themselves forward, that taking part in those rituals will allow you the freedom to obtain something, anything that you hold dear. You find that having something like this, whether it be for information, for revenge, for prosperity, to change something, to do something, you know that depending on the ritual and the power behind it, it is something akin to a miracle, a wish. Do you have a wish? You find that your answer to this is similar to the last question. If you say no, you probably won't be involved. But you can say it out loud, or you don't have to say it out loud. But Actaeon, or Actaeon, or however we're gonna say it, or Actaeon.
You've been saying Actaeon this whole time, so I figured we'll just
Actaeon.
go with that.
Do you have a wish that you wish for this ritual to grant?
I do.
Okay. And finally, when you come to this new place, and you are brought forward from this, you will find that your own understanding of things is limited. You will find that anytime you take place in a ritual like this, you will be essentially reset to where you are now, with information of your own self, information of the current era, but not necessarily continued information from the situations before. Yet, as you are informed of this, you feel strange, almost as if you are an exception to this rule. You don't know why you're an exception to this rule, but you feel that that information means nothing to you and is not important. The final thing that you feel is that in accepting this contract and accepting this way into these rituals, you will have to give your all for the one that brings you into this. For they are the one that has power over the situation. And if they should perish, your part in that ritual will end. There's also a thing, you almost see like a person pointing over toward a chalkboard and slapping onto it with a ruler toward the Nasu doesn't care, and also everything has an asterisk. But don't worry about that. As you were given this information,
Stray, are you ready to start your story?
Yeah, I guess. I don't really know what's going on, but I'll give it my all.
Your vision erupts in light. You feel magic all around. The form that you're currently inhabiting, the one that you currently are standing with, is very dependent on that. As this flash, that is the wrong music. That is also, where's it at? Where's it at? Oh God, oh no, oh geez, that's the wrong one as well. We'll go this one. Perfect. You find, as this flash subsides, you are standing in a very different area than the last place you were in. You have the information that you are far, far from home. You are gone to this time. Around you is a strange building of worship. One that seems a lot more grandiose in some ways, but a lot less grandiose in others to one that you would know. You look about yourself as, unfortunately, you stand as a stag standing in the center of this room. In front of you, a person is staring upwards in your direction. They seem to have collapsed downward onto the ground. But luckily, because of the way you're positioned, they are still in some kind of a sight of you. You see a woman in a cloak. As this dark figure stares in your direction, they seem to grip at their chest as if pain comes across it.
I think he'll probably just instinctively like move over towards her.
As you
Like, you're
step
not
toward this
concerned
person,
in her.
there you are, Stray. No, I guess that's not entirely what you are, is it? Greetings, Archer. You find they have a scrap of some kind of cloth in their hand. As you look to it, that scrap of cloth seems to be that same reddish cloth that is around your neck. They hold it up into your direction as the winds that make up your scarf seem to take it in and slightly extend it once more.
Looks at that and then looks back to her, kind of like fretting over over her situation.
All right. You can't speak yet. My bad. Allow me. They put their hand forward as you see this person seems to be some kind of sorcerer. As they put their hand out, you find that the magic that they expel seems to have some power over you. It seems to enter with you as if they have control over you in some way. You find, bloop, you take on a new form.
Oh,
Not even the other players have seen this.
yeah. Oh, hold on, let me fucking.
Oh, you gonna
There we
switch? You gonna switch? Yeah, yeah. It's even on the reactive. Yeah.
Yeah.
little antlers. As they do this, you take on a new form in front of them as they again seem to somewhat collapse down and try to keep themselves standing.
Oh, easy. What? He like rushes over to her. What happened? What? Is there any? What can I?
What has happened? What has happened could fill a book of tales. What has happened could fill a story that is grander than even that the people that have shown themselves. I am ruler. I am your master, Stray.
You're the one? What I was told to protect?
Protect. No, there is no protecting me. Do not worry of that. You have been given information as to this age, have you not? That you are part of a ritual that is to be completed, usually within a small amount of time. Unfortunately, this ritual has gone on far enough. I'm sorry to bring you into a place like this, but this is the only place that I could think of. I am a servant like you.
And what does that mean? Exactly.
We were summoned into this time, this era, from the ones that we belonged, in order to take part in something called the Holy Grail War. The fourth that has made its way through this city. These wars are usually made a fight through mages, for some sort of supremacy, for magic power to grant them, be it a wish or just power. Through that, we servants usually get what we need as well. However, that did not happen. I was once a part of that war, under a different name. They called me... My master called me Caster. But he is no longer here. The mages that took over this place, that have elongated this ritual beyond years of which it should have been gone, they killed him. They attacked him and myself through means of cooperation with each other to a point of contention against the very thing that this ritual entails. As they did it, my master saved me. They were a part of a family that held the vassals, held what would eventually become the Holy Grail. They gave it to me. And that is why I'm still here. And that is now why you are here, though I had wished that I could summon more than just you.
If you have that, then why are you like this?
I do not have a master to give me mana any longer. We servants are made of ether. We are made of magical energy, and we require more as thus. I have survived these 4 long years, but only by the good graces of what my master had left behind. I had gathered power as much as I could to create this small grail that I now hold. And I attempt to recreate the ritual to summon my own group of servants to fight against them. But only you were able to heed my call. I am not strong enough. I'm sorry.
Don't be. Is there anything I can do to help? To give you more Mana?
Unfortunately for both of us, you even existing is taking some of my mana from me. That is a risk that I have to take. You are able to sustain yourself better than most from what I can feel. That other form you were in seemed to somewhat drain very little mana. I do not know and I do not understand it. You seem to be taking in the mana of nature and the air itself. But I cannot speak to you in that form, so I do not prefer it at all. Tell me, you are Actaeon, right?
Yes, that's my name.
I am one who can conjure phantasms. I am one who can bring forth legends. Whenever I had finally gathered the power, I found a small scrap of cloth, and I used that to summon you. You are quite cute, they say with just a look of on their face, like not smiling, you can't see them through the veil, but there is a look of just sort of playfulness going across the top of their face.
The mildest of blushes momentarily appears before he kind of shakes his head. You should stop talking. You're exerting energy.
I have you know that talking is actually my forte. It is exactly what I am known for. I am all talk. That is why I needed one of action. Actaeon. Or, I guess it is, again, very difficult to say that aloud here. The other servants and the other beings out there that are connected to that grail, they will gain much just from knowing your name, or even the container you hold, the container of Archer. It is why when you showed up, I was calling you Stray. But if you prefer, I can call you whatever you wish.
Why is it hard to call me by my name? Oh, well,
There are many people who listen. If they know of you, then... As she says that, you get a flashback to where Artemis was talking to you. If they know of you, then they will know your story. And there's always some truth.
Yeah.
Before she even says that, you get that in your head.
Right.
You seem to know much.
Just a bit of advice from, well, I guess I really don't know what to call her right now.
She steps forward as much as she can, pulling herself to the edge of the area and sits down. Again, still sort of clutching at her chest, but looking somewhat as if she's able to, at the very least, be someone who can talk. I feel different when I look to you. You are not like the other servants. I feel a sadness from you that is not gone. When I was summoned into this place, I had very few of the things that brought me back from that world. But for you, it seems that you are still hurt from what happened to you in the past. Does it feel fresh to you?
Very.
I'm sorry. It must be because I am an unusual master. Usually that pain is all but gone. I wish I could help.
It's fine. Just don't gotta worry about me.
I will warn you, just in case this bothers you, but because of my power, and because of our connection, I will gradually learn more and more of your past. even without you telling me. I don't say this for any reason but to just let you know that I'm not prying. It is just something that I will eventually know. And I'm sorry that I am not allowing you any privacy.
Well, I appreciate the honesty at least.
That is the least we can do for each other, is be honest. If there's any questions you have for me, I can give them to you. There is a small task I would like you to do whenever you have time. We must prepare for others to make their way. This place we must make safe, at least for the short term. I fear that it will not be wonderful to stay here once we are all gathered. But there are a few mages and others who I have already felt a presence of that will make their way here shortly. 2 which come from another country altogether, and 2 that will have a chance meeting very soon.
You can just tell that?
I am the master of these types of things. There is no plot twist that will happen that I am unaware of, at least when it comes to the people in my own story. I am, you could say, akin to a prophet.
If you said that you don't have a master anymore, right?
My master is dead.
And that means that you... What exactly? You don't have much time?
Time is unfortunately something I have a lot of, actually. As long as I'm able to find some way to replenish the magics that I have inside of this lesser grail left for me from Lord Miguel, then I am essentially fine. But that is not the problem. The problem is we require much, much more mana. Because in your state that you are currently in, as well as mine, we are the weakest of the servants that could possibly be assigned to this war. Every other that we will fight will be on the level of gods.
Oh.
Lord Miguel de la Luna, my master, he gave me this chance that I have not only to avenge him, but to get my wish. And also to protect this city from the planning that these other masters were doing, and to avenge their servants, the ones who were, at least in the last few years, taken care of if they so far as disobeyed.
Well, I mean, I did say I would do my best when I got here. And my goal was always to fight those kinds of threats anyway. So, maybe together we can get both our wishes.
I'll have you know, I find myself, even with my current predicament, as a very powerful supportive ally. I'm a master of phantasms, as I said. I will be able to find you many such items out there. And once we defeat some of our opponents, I can even take from them their own. The stronger we get, the stronger we have as our ceiling. And if you are ever able to defeat one of the more powerful servants that remain, we can take their power for our own. We are the weakest, but in that we have strength.
All right. Well, I guess it's good to meet you then. He'll hold out a hand.
It is
What's,
nice to meet you, Actaeon. They bring their hand away from their chest and go to grab yours.
What's your name? Aside from, this whole ruler caster stuff. These don't really sound like names as much.
Oh, I suppose I could tell you. Sorry, I am a little nervous to speak it. It is the only thing that I've been able to guard these last few years, but...
If it makes you uncomfortable, you don't have to.
I cannot very well say that I am truthful with you and then hold back such information as that. I will leave it to you. Ask me once more. If you wish, I will tell you. If not, ruler will suffice, or storyteller will be good.
I mean, I'd like to know your name.
They will nod, as they do. I will get the one that definitely will give people the understanding exactly who they are now. They will reach up and they will bring their hood down and their veil forward. Upon doing so, I am Scheherazade, master of 1,000 tales.
I got a
Well,
inkling.
1,001.
Well, it's good to meet you, Scheherazade.
You as well, Actaeon. Now, there is one thing that I need to have you do.
Mm-hmm.
They reach into their cloak and they pull out what appear to be several arrows. I had these. I gained this when I summoned you, but I believe they are yours. You can have these and 5 others, but the other 5 I need you to use immediately. They put down what appear to be a large amount of arrows that you have seen before. You have seen that these arrows are the exact arrows that Artemis had used in their hunts.
Oh, okay.
15 arrows of Artemis. You will never get more than this.
Okay. Good to know.
They give a plus 2d4 damage, and they have a 17 to 20 crit range.
Whoa!
And that is in addition to any other effects you have on your bows. She hands you 20 of them. However, you can put 15 in your quiver. There you go.
Okay.
The other 5 as she holds them out to you. These are required for our ritual. I need you to find 5 targets around this place. Whenever some of the others return, and once you strike those 5 targets, we will then know if this place is somewhere that we can stay, or if this will be a battleground in the future. I was drawn here because this is where the Grail brought me. So this is either where the Grail will take form, or a place of safety for us. If this is where the Grail will take form, we must leave immediately.
Okay.
Before you strike forth at those 5 targets. She stands. Familiarize
You cut out
yourself.
for a sec?
Was that?
You cut out for a sec? What was the last thing you said?
Before you strike out at those 5 targets. She goes to stand. Familiarize yourself with the grounds. If you walk around in that other form of yours, you should be able to slowly generate magic as opposed to use it. But you will be, unfortunately, very vulnerable in that state. Do not let the other masters, do not let the other servants, do not let any of them know your name. And if you can help it, do not let them know that you are an archer. Unfortunately, it will be rather obvious. But
I'll try my best.
But if you wish to be completely veiled to them, she puts her hand out one more time as once again she uses a spell on you, as, oop, that's the wrong one.
What?
You find that she is also able to hide your horns.
Oh.
In this state, you will use up the most mana. But any master or other servant who stares upon you, while they will see you as someone extraordinary, they will not see you as a servant.
All right.
It is similar to your animal form. They will not see you as a servant, but they will see you as something extraordinary. Use these two forms I grant you as well as you can.
I'll do my best. Are you sure this is okay for you?
The spell was already cast upon you. You're draining me slightly in this form, but I am gaining more just from the Grail having existed. But we will not get stronger in this form. We use up as much as we gain.
Okay.
Perhaps the others, when they appear, will be able to help us with that. One last thing, Actaeon.
Yeah?
Stray, or whatever it is you wish me to call you.
I mean, I guess if you can't use my name and I'm not supposed to be known as an archer, Stray works.
Stray. I mention again that I am sorry for your abrupt and, well, failed summoning. If there is ever anything you have need of, I am a master of stories. I'm also good at listening to them. If I can help in any way, let me know.
Will do. I think giving me the second shot is already plenty.
We will not have to wait long for our guests to appear. Your job, at the moment, is to make sure nothing else comes here. You will see them. You will feel them as I do. You will know which ones to let through and which ones to not. The extent of the bounded field is entirely your domain. And if you ever wish to come by to talk, or to talk even now, I am here. Please, use your expertise in these lands that you have been taught, these skills you have been brought to muster, and protect us as well as you can. And let me worry about gaining strength.
Okay.
At this point, if you would like to ask them anything else or do anything else, you definitely can. Once we get to the point where you go outside toward the bounded field, I will say that that may be the end of what we do, as I will tell us one final kind of thing. Do you want to do anything before then? You can go off and think about your current situation. You can try to get your emotions settled with them, let them know the things that they will eventually know anyway. Or we can just have you go off to start patrolling around.
I think he'd probably try to sort through his own thoughts about what's happened before, like, sharing them with others.
Of course. You would find your way, stepping out and about throughout this church. You're decently sure it's a church. That's what the Grail is telling you. As you would find your way out, looking out at what appears to be a very modern city, much different than anything you've ever seen in your life. But again, the Grail somewhat giving you the understanding of what it is, though not as quickly as apparently Scheherazade had said you should get it. Everything about your summoning seems to be somewhat off. But you are brought out. You stand about looking from this large hill-like area overlooking this metropolis of a city in front of you. What's going through your mind, Shrey?
Confusion and hurt.
Hmm.
He doesn't know why Artemis turned so drastically like that when the last time it happened. It was just a little slap on the wrist comparatively. He is angry that once again Dionysus has reared his head and fucked with him and his family. And he's mad at everyone involved, but I think the person he's probably the least mad at is Saproides, because it looked like she had an almost shocked look on her face when she kind of almost realized what happened. But he's still like mad he's still mad.
Of course.
Is all I can really say.
The worst thing about all of that is you are currently, from what you can tell, from what the Grail is telling you, you are in an era where there are no gods, at least to what the Grail would understand. You are also in an era where most likely there is no Saproides.
And I think the moment he realizes that, there's also like more sadness. That he's sad that the last time he saw them like that was the last time he ever saw them, and he will ever see them.
I don't know what your wish is, but there is a thing that comes by your brain as you say that there is at least one way to potentially fix that.
Potentially.
But at the same time, you think on the situation. Again, according to Scheherazade, you should not have been this fresh out of it. You should have been allowed to get your respite of your emotions. But according to their summon that has been flawed, you are brought into this place basically directly after your death.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that they did not wish that upon you, but that is what you have to deal with currently. You look off and around, you can feel the extent of the bounded field that is here. It's rather large. There are a few places of woods about. There are a few areas around you. You feel a familiar wind come over you. You look up to a familiar moon ahead of you. Is there anything else?
All right. Guess let's get to hunting these targets.
I think with that, we're going to end the first backstory session of Fate Days Lost. Hooray!
Hooray!
Hey, start off on a really positive note.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Your logo says last days on it.
Is it last days? I thought it was days lost. Damn it.
Nope.
Womp
Push that
womp.
logo mark.
Hold on.
We'll fix it in post.
Hold on.
I don't know. I don't know which one you decided the title was.
Did I fuck it
but,
up? I didn't.
You said
yeah, I
you
didn't
said
use
one-
the other one. Damn it.
Good job.
It's supposed to be days lost. Damn it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the name of the stream is correct. The intermission screen isn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like the pixel art Lindsay mentioned.
If you made it this far, viewers on YouTube, stop typing or delete your comment. We know.
I told you I knew Caster. I don't know what you're talking about.
We saw the tales and the story here. I'm like, this is fucking Is there fucking 1001 lady in there?
I absolutely one of my all-time favorite books. Whenever I have a really good version of it as well. Is 1001 Arabian Nights, and I love Scheherazade a lot. We based the design off of the Fate Go version, though we have changed some of it. This is made by Phantom, when it came
I was
to,
gonna say it's kind of blurry.
it's a little blurry. It's a little. I think I might have grabbed a low quality version of it. I'll have to get the higher quality
Yeah,
one.
it's super blurry.
I'll have to get the higher quality version of it, but yeah, because first off, they were just gonna not say their name. Like that was gonna be a thing where they're just like, no, I'm just ruler. But again, I had no. I told Eric this as well. If we learn their name, that's fine. I don't care. But it is they. If it was up to them, they wouldn't have said it.
I do remember you saying that now. I only just now, though.
Also, the amount that the cropping makes it look like all she's wearing is that cloak.
That's kind of all she's wearing. There's reasons behind it. Don't worry.
But yeah, I like how you took the design for both her and Artemis had
Artemis
similar to
Artemis has a little bit of Fate Artemis in them. If we look at Artemis, they have a little bit of that. But I also whenever I gave the image over to Aaron, I also wanted I want them to be a little bit more green, a little bit more actual huntressy, a little bit more of a thing like that. We also based a little bit, tiniest bit, off of Artemis from Hades 2.
Oh, okay.
Just the tiniest bit. And we were gonna give them the two-toned hair that sort of shifted in, just like the Fate one, but we ended up not doing that. They do have
I have no idea what that fur collar is attached to, but it's there.
It's there, man.
It's just it's god magic. Don't
It's
worry
god
about
magic. Leave the god magic alone.
As the resident fucking Artemis simp, I'm kind of like,
I like the Fate Go design, but I don't like it as well.
well, here's the thing. I don't like the Fate Go design.
Thank God.
So so you're like, it's based off the hair, the Fate Go design. Yeah, it sure does have silver hair, and that's it.
That's basically
that's more what I meant.
That's basically where things went. We gave them the long hair because of that.
Yeah.
It's the long hair and it's the silver hair that we were gonna have going to the two-tone shift. But we ended up again wanting to keep it a lot more our own thing.
No, that's fair.
But the idea of the long hair and the idea of the silver moons especially were the Hades influences. The little silver moons on them. But yeah, it's mostly just keeping things fucking around, like just around our own
I have
stuff.
pixel arcade where I figure we'll all be.
Oh, let's see. That's a skull. There's some kind of come out of helmet, I think. There's a lock. There's a circle. Trying to see what the circle is. Oh, that's a bow, I think. We've done it.
Yeah.
We figured it out. Wonderful,
Heck
wonderful.
I can't tell what this one is.
It's actually a waxing crescent, but I can only do so much.
Oh, I thought it was a bow.
Moon.
I don't know what this one is supposed to be here. I'm looking at it from far away, and I see
The one over here?
It's
It's a helmet.
It's a night
Oh,
helmet.
it's a helmet. Okay.
Yeah. It's a helmet and there's a little shoulder there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the white part, being like, "What's the picture?" And I'm like, a tea outside of someone's patio.
Those are the steps to my Minecraft house.
We are going to end the recording here. I hope everybody had fun. We will come back next week with another one of the backstory games. This one, most likely, I believe, going to be Anthony and Nightshade's backstory game.
Yeah, not trying to go to bed, but yes.
We will have that go down, and that will either take 1 or 2 weeks, most likely 1, at which point we will go to the next backstory, which will be Squeaky and Linz. So we're gonna
Yeah.
end the
We
recording
have to
here.
do one more thing.
What's that?
Consult the furry chart.
Oh, that's true. We have to look at the furry chart here. Honestly,
I
they
think
have
fine.
the features. They have the horns. So I'm gonna go ahead and say like that's probably a
It's just
2
an
to
animal.
3. Yeah, it's like.
So it's like a
Well, no,
two.
if we're talking about the stag form, then yes, it's an animal.
He has his 3 forms are 1, 2, and 10.
There is no
We can't. We don't see the little ears. We only see the little horns. I don't see any
Well, that's
little
why I said
fluff along
animal
that butt.
features.
This
Animal-
doesn't say animal. It says animal.
That's
okay?
true. It is not an
It says
animal. That's right. It is
Oh,
not
it
an
would be
animal.
number 2 by default.
It
then,
has to
'cause
be number
that
2
is
by
an
default. You're
he-
right. You're right.
He is not an animal. He's an animal.
It's true. Fuck
Yeah.
both of you.
Tieflings have
Anyway,
horns, so you gonna call that a fucking tiefling?
we're gonna end the recording here. I hope you guys had fun. We will come back next week with some more, and
All right,
we'll see
chat.
just where
We
everything
covered the
is.
most burning question. Later.
See just where everything will be settled by that point. I hope you guys have fun, and until next time, guys. Like always, later days.
Bye-bye.
Bye.